Welcome to another edition of the Story Behind the Car. And I'm right in traffic and it's kind of loud, but we're with Steve and this is his 1949 Chevy 3100. And Steve, you said you got it at an auction a few years ago?
Yeah, I was looking for an old truck, been looking for one for about 5 or 6 years. Never had much luck. Kind of gave up on it, and a buddy of mine called me and on a Saturday and said, you gotta go. And
was it a farm auction?
It was yeah, all the property and everything was being sold off.
Yeah. And is this?
I'm assuming it's all original.
Yeah, that is cool.
The people that owned the estate years ago, it was a cattle ranch at one time.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this was a part of the original estate.
Yeah. And I love these. I think, is it called a 5-window or a 3-window?
It's a 5-window,
yeah.
Opera glass, some people call it.
Yeah. Can I open the door?
Sure, absolutely.
Man, it is in amazing shape.
I think the seats and the door panels is about the only thing that was replaced years ago.
Yeah.
The couple that was selling it had inherited it from their grandfather. So it's third generation in their family.
Okay.
But I think she said that her dad had restored this truck almost 35 years ago.
Okay.
They repainted it or did whatever. He got it from his dad.
And that's the start button, correct?
That is the starter. There's 6 pedals on the floor.
Yeah.
You got an emergency brake, high beam, low beam, clutch, brake, gas pedal, and starter switch.
Yeah.
It's all here. The body of it, the frame, there's no rust holes anywhere.
Yeah.
It barely has any surface rust. All the spare tire rack, the spare tire, battery, tray panel, every piece of it is here.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of cleaning a few things up and rewiring it, going through the whole brake system. And the original engine was a 216.
Okay.
It was in pretty bad shape. Would have cost more than 10 grand to get it going, so I found a 235, which is pretty much the same engine.
Yeah.
Out of a 1962 Chevy Impala. It was also a show car.
Okay.
So the guy was doing an engine swap with the 327, and I'm like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So it bolts up to my transmission and motor, so.
Yeah, I have a 61 Chevy truck, and it had a 235 in it.
Yeah, so if you didn't know what you were looking at, you'd never know.
Yeah.
Kind of broke my heart to do it, but I wanted the driver.
Yeah. Wow, but it is so nice. And I love the flashlight.
Yeah, I found that under the seat.
Oh, really?
That was all behind the old gas tank. I had to replace the gas tank.
Was the...
That was all cleaned up and repounded or painted.
Yeah. And was that under the seat as well?
Yeah, everything was there. There was an old wrench, a tire iron, the original jack.
Wow.
Everything's functional on it. All the gauges work.
Yeah.
But just everything works on it.
Oh, there's a lever for the adjustable seat.
Yeah, it works too. It's fully functional.
Yeah.
There is no rust holes in it anywhere.
And can we look at the engine?
Oh, sure.
Oh man, that is clean.
Yeah, like I said, I tried to keep it as original as possible. A lot of people ask what year it is. I get it because 47 through 53 were almost identical.
Yeah.
Except for like wing windows and a few things. 1949 was actually the last year of the knee action shock absorbers. That's how you could tell basically if it's a 47, 48, or 49.
Okay.
1950 they went to like typically what a shock absorber looks like today.
Yes.
So.
And I've never heard of a knee shock absorber.
You know, well, if you can look under here, I could show you one.
Oh,
see where you can get a better view.
Oh, you know, I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen them.
Yeah, like the old school doors had those big things with the arms
Yeah,
on them.
yeah.
That's what they look like.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, for a short period of time, I had a 38 Chevy truck. I don't know if it had knee. It was a 1-ton. Boy, this is really clean.
Like I said, it was in really good shape. I mean, it's all beat and banged up, but it's all the original, like the starter, the transmission, the bell housing, and all that came off the 235. It bolts to the back. 1962 was the last year that they made this cast.
Okay.
1963 is when they went to more of the modern engine, where the oil filter actually screwed into the block instead of being external.
Yeah. And I didn't notice. Do you have an oil filter on this?
I do, and it's just external, and that's just.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I rerouted it so I could use it. It had the old canister system.
Yeah.
So I rerouted the lines, and then now I can use a normal oil filter on it.
Yeah. I shot a 51 International, and it had one of the oil canisters, and he took the top off and pulled it up. It was just a huge wad up rag.
It looked like a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it was converted. I totally rewired the whole truck.
Okay.
Converted it to 12 volt. It's got an alternator.
Yeah.
It's got blinkers now.
Yeah, so you're safer on the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But most of it was wired like it would have been. I just rearranged a few things for the alternator, and so I had to start from scratch. I mean, I took like all the lights, like your running lights, your tail lights. Those are all glass lenses. And if you take the tail lights, I took them apart, and then you can take the internals out and take the internals apart.
Okay.
So everything was completely rewired from like where the light bulb screws in all the way to the fuse block.
Wow.
So it's.
I'm gonna hit the tail end again, the tailgate again. I love the tail lights on this era. Beautiful. How does it do on the highway?
I've cruised. I've had it up to about 72.
Yeah.
And I probably went about 5 or 6 miles. It did just fine. And then I bump it back down to about 62, 63 ish, and it drives just fine on the highway. I'm not sure if it's because of the engine difference or if, I don't know. Most people say these things will barely do 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
But I do drive it 2-3 times a week.
Oh, do you really? Good. Any quirkiness or anything else we should know before we wrap things up, Steve?
No, not really.
Well, that valve stem is.
It still has inner tubes.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, those are 16-inch utility rims.
Wow.
Which would have been standard on the old farm trucks.
Yeah.
Trucks have evolved over the years. They were basically farm equipment back in the day, in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
And I read an article on pickup trucks, and it's really interesting about the history of how they evolved into basically sports cars today, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one of the most versatile vehicles ever made.
Yeah, nowadays they're all about comfort and creature comfort. Back then it was a work vehicle.
And when I turned 16, my first vehicle was a 1976 Ford Stepside with the 300 inline 6-cylinder and a 3 on the tree.
Yeah.
And it just really brought back some memories when I seen it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have this.
And is this a 3 on the?
It is a 3 on the tree, and it's all there.
Yeah.
She is all there.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for letting us shoot your beautiful truck and telling us the story behind your truck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.